His former National Security Advisor and former Navy officer, Congressman Roilo Golez, Professor Romel Banlawi, the Executive Director of the Philippine Institute for Peace, Violence, and Terrorism Research, and Magdalo members, former Lieutenant Ashley Esbillo and former Lieutenant Senior Grade Regional Lieutenants. All right, gentlemen, before we took a break, I wanted to ask you, what's your opinion? How do you feel about some people are saying that what the palace is doing or what they intend to accomplish is beyond what is on the surface of this amnesty? Mr. Banal.
Well, the President has the constitutional prerogative to grant amnesty anytime under his term. So we have to respect that constitutional prerogative. But others are saying that the President should have waited October 28 when the court should have announced whether the Magdalo soldiers are guilty or not. But for me, that is not an academic already because the President already signed the proclamation. And I think the Congress, based on numbers, would concur to that proclamation. And if you would ask the feeling, the environment, there seems to be sympathy towards the granting of amnesty. So the October 28th event will be more an academic already.
No matter what the decision will be.
Yeah, let's see what will others react to that.
For the Magdalo soldiers, how do you feel how some people are speculating that there may be something beyond this of how the President is giving amnesty?
I hope they would take it at face value as the President says so. It's an initiative of goodwill from the President to us from what happened in the past administration. And we thank him for that. We thank the Congress for that. And we thank the Senate for adopting also, following suit what the President said. So I cannot second guess, for example, what the President has in mind. But for me, at face value already, it's fine with me already giving us honesty. Anyway, maybe yes, for example, 7 years in incarceration, condition of not being reinstated was already put in place. So that's fine with me. I've already paid my dues, I guess. And if they accept that payment on what I did in 2003 and give me amnesty, then that's fine with me.
Sir, would you say, Mr. Congressman Golez, that some people are saying this is a political move or a popular move? He's taken some hits with the crisis, the crisis that's happened to his first 100 days. Is this a good thing for the image of the president?
Well, first of all, this is a presidential prerogative.
Right.
And amnesty, if you look at amnesty as practiced all over the world, is an action of either the executive or the legislative or both. In this particular case, in the case of the Philippines, it's both because you have the action of the executive with concurrence of the legislative. So it is not connected with the judiciary. So there is no connection whatsoever. And one thing about this, you are, in my own experience, because I was part also of the peace process in 1992, 1993. I was part of the government panel that negotiated the rightist rebels under then General Medina. I was appointed with the President as part of the panel together with then Senator Biazon. And it was an action on the part of President Ramos, who was also a target of all the coup attempts during the Cory administration. And then the action of now President Noynoy Aquino, who was one of those hurt and could have been killed in one of the encounters during the coup attempts during the time of her mother. And both have shown amnesty, forgiveness, or willingness to forget all of this. So I think this is a move that comes from the heart.
Do you think it's essential to be done
this is not a political nuance, but something that comes from the heart.
Do you think it's essential that it be done this early in the previous administration to, as they say, start with a clean slate, have reconciliation with all sectors as much as possible?
Oh yeah, get it out of the way instead of it becoming a thorn, a raging issue that will go through a lot of divisive debate. So this will accelerate the process and not delay it any further.
Right. As you mentioned earlier, we did invite our viewers to join us through Facebook and Twitter, and we have some comments and questions coming from them right now. This is coming from Benedict Bernabe. He says, so mutiny is okay as long as it's against GMA? Your response is?
Mutiny is okay if it's against GMA. It's not saying it's okay. It's not saying mutiny is okay. I guess what we're saying is that dissension is okay against a bad government. Dissension. Tolerance is worse. Apathy is worse in a bad government. So that's what we are saying. Dissension is okay. It's a responsibility. It's not only a right, but a responsibility to dissent to our government, to tell them that something's wrong happening right now.
It's just that the methods of voicing that message to many, even to the law, is not
Yes,
appropriate.
yes, I would agree to that. I would agree with that. There would be different venues, so it would be your pick on what venue you would pick.
And the point is, TJ, is that for whichever method you choose, you are equally responsible for all the consequences that stem from each of these methods. So in our case, we take it very well when they say that we should suffer. We take that very well precisely because if they remember in 2003, even our core leaders volunteered to be tried in the military courts to save their subordinates the agony of a trial and even incarceration. But then they threw all of us into the stockade. But even then, we accepted that. We submitted ourselves to the process. They should look at that. Because in the end, as I said a while ago, we are not espousing mutiny. What we are espousing, what we were espousing, and what we continue to espouse is that you fight evil wherever it is, you fight corruption wherever it is, because this ultimately will lead the country nowhere. And sorry to say, but when you have taken an oath to defend your country, in our case, we did. The case of the congressman, he did during his time. We take that oath very seriously. They may disagree with our methods, but then again, we have stuck to that oath. We have stuck with our principles, and I think people should, I guess, accept them.
With what happened the last elections, with the results of the elections, would you say that your advocacies would be relatively successful if you rate it? Would you think that the noise that you made, legal or not, helped raise awareness and helped burn the fire, that sentiment on the other side?
Well, there was, I guess we would not only consider this election, we should also consider the elections of 2007. The elections of 2007 and the overwhelming